I watched The Truman Show for the first time in years, and I want to talk about it and my thoughts about it. I will say there might be some spoilers, so alright, so let's get right into it. So the movie stars Jim Carrey, which honestly I think this is one of his best movies. Just my personal opinion. And basically Jim Carrey plays Truman. Just your average guy, it's just about his life. He's an insurance seller, he's married, it's just your typical life. Except that everything around Truman is a facade. It turns out Truman is owned by a corporation, and the island, Sea Haven Island, that he lives on is actually a set that Truman has lived on his entire life. His wife is a paid actress, his mother, his best friend, every single person around him is a paid actor or actress. And millions of people tune into his show every single day. It's live streamed 24 hours. The island has over 5,000 cameras to watch every single move. However, everyone knows it's a show except for the main character, Truman. He just thinks this is his life and it's all he's ever known. From birth to every single moment, he has been on camera and he has no idea. The show's creator is Christoph, and you see him like in a globe. Everything, even the moon, the weather, it's all like an enclosed area. It's an all studio, but no one knows everyone knows except for Truman. Quote from the movie: "While the world he inhabits is in some respects counterfeit, there's nothing fake about Truman himself. No scripts, no cue cards. It isn't always Shakespeare, but it's genuine." So this movie came out about 10 years before social media really hit the market. It came out in 97 or 98. And it came out before live streaming was a thing, like Twitch or whatever. So everything on this island, Sea Haven Island, is curated to make sure that it fits, that it revolves around Truman. Everything is on there as a set, except when Truman is on the move. So in the movie, Truman is about 30 years old, and things start to get bizarre. He turns on the radio, and the radio is saying exactly which street he's on, which place he turned into. Bizarre, huh? Truman enters a building to get something. Security guards try to stop him. The elevator opens and it's a break room with people eating donuts and snacks. He tries multiple times to leave the island and it's always stopped. You want to book a flight to Fiji? We don't have any flights for the next month. You want to book a bus to Chicago? Conveniently, the bus breaks down. You're trying to go somewhere on an empty road, all of a sudden traffic comes out of nowhere. So Truman is confused, and he starts to question why things seem to revolve around him. Conveniently, they seem to happen. Throughout this, he's always gaslit. His wife, a paid actress, when Truman starts to see that things are just revolving around him and such weird coincidences, the wife says, "Let me get you some help, Truman. You're not well. You're having a nervous breakdown." And then she proceeds to get a canister of coffee, read it out loud, and be like, "Oh, this is the greatest coffee." Plugged in ads. Because everything on the show, too, is for sale. From the clothes to their appliances to the cars. Obviously, Truman doesn't know, but they'll randomly, it's like, I think there's another one, the Brewski's beers or whatever, or something like that. And the wife says this, and Truman says, "Who are you talking to?" Well, the truth is, every single person in Truman's life is a paid actor or actress, with Christoph telling them what to say, how to do it. So while Truman is unaware and is living his best genuine life, everyone around him is fake. After this, Truman threatens his wife, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, of course, the best friend comes in with the beers because it's convenient. And the wife says, "I can't work under these conditions. It's unprofessional." Then the best friend and Truman go, and the best friend with the earpiece says, "And the last thing I would ever do to you is lie to you." And so I love this movie. I think it's amazing, and I think it's honestly one of Jim Carrey's best performances. And it got me thinking really about today's media, especially with family blogging. Smokey Glow does a good video on this. I will link her video down below where she talks about Passenger of 8 family and like family blogging. But in the sense too, and this is also right as like this show comes out like right before like reality TV becomes a big thing too. And it used to be that like things were scripted, actors, actresses, plot, convenience, that sort of thing, a performance. However, I think now with family vlogging, your children are the performers, yet they don't know that. They've had a camera all aside them from the moment of their birth and every single moment of their life, rather than watching shows for storylines that people have made and, character development and those fake laugh tracks and stuff. You are having children just live their genuine lives and that be the main character. From when they wake up, if they have temper tantrums, the schools that they go to, even a lot of times parents will pretend to have like traumatic things and just see their children's reaction for views, of course. And I just think it's kind of interesting that like the Truman Show in a way was kind of like predictory of like reality TV and family vlogging where you exploit people for views and entertainment. In the Truman Show, Truman is owned by a corporation. He's not like his own self. And kids, obviously, they're under the guardian of their parents or legal guardians. But it kind of like bridges the bigger picture of like consent to filming and showing your most vulnerable moments. However, is great is for the views. When Truman tries to get away on the boat, they put the winds and the storm at the highest. The other producers say it's dangerous, Truman could die. And Christoph says, well, he was born on TV, and he basically says he can die on TV. Obviously, the Truman Show is an extreme case, right? Like, no one lives in a studio, right? But I think with family vlogging, the home in which they live and inhabit becomes the studio. The audience being the viewers on YouTube or other platforms, the directors being the parents filming this. And you see, for example, like, are the parents doing things for the well-being of their children and really trying to teach them lessons? Or are they just doing it for a reaction and great views? You're far more likely to get better reviews if your kid is misbehaving or disagreeing with you than just being quiet and behaving, right? I just thought it was interesting how the Truman kind of like predicting family vlogging and like live streams before it was a thing. And I think it's important too to have boundaries for your kids. Just because they're your kids doesn't mean that you can exploit them just for views. They are entitled to their own life and their decisions without an audience. Thank you for tuning in.